Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, winter, Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome.
up? What it do? Let me see if this microphone's fucking me again, like usual. I don't, I don't adjust the microphone setting. It's just fucking psychotic. Every day it turns itself back down. I literally don't do that. This time I was going to keep track of it. What up? How's everybody doing? It is fucking hump day. Shit, I barely know what damn day of the week it is these days. How you guys doing? You guys making some money? What a bull market move. Haven't got the mask up yet because niggas gotta smoke. But you know. Somebody actually said they thought I was some white guy saying the N-word a lot. That shit's funny. Why do people keep doing that? Good motherfuckers got linguistic skills beyond reproach don't mean he gotta be a white boy. How racist are you, bro? Anyway, not a white boy. How's everybody doing? Don't be biased. That's the fucking theme of the show today, right? You guys recognize that from the blog, Footprint of Bias? It's half empty, it's half full. Niggas just piss. Ivy is doing significantly better. Thank you so much for asking. She is the heart and soul of this house, so when she's down, we're all down, you know? Mask off things, Izzy, mask off things. Said, fuck it. What do you guys think of the theme today? Boy, I'm having like to do multiple photo shoots to come up with new things. I'm really, really taxed out on fucking themes after, I think we're like 270 of these like, art-based theme shows. Like, holy fuck. Let me find that. God, I gotta clear my cache. ETH is killing me. Went with a clean look today. What do you guys think? Like that one? I don't do the mask off thing too often. Definitely not my artwork. But I figured that I got to do something different. Run out of ideas. No, I'm never running out of ideas. But just putting it together so it looks clean and nice. Looks good. I thought about coloring the piss yellow. But I couldn't make that look good with the fucking kind of like stylings I did here. And I couldn't do it fast enough. So I actually did a whole fucking bunch of headgear. And I ended up having to delete that too. But anyways, thought I'd do something clean and simple. I thought that one came out pretty good. Believe it or not, that's a composite of 3 different pictures. All 3 came out with something else, and then I had to like clean it up. But yeah, if you guys recognize that that write-up right there, hopefully this will load at a meaningful amount of time. You guys know it from here. And made that point again because people really do get caught up in debating the wrong things, you know. And when you look at the market, right, perspective is what really matters. And depending on how far you zoom in or zoom out, right, it can look insanely bearish or insanely bullish. And in this game, objectivity is the only thing that matters, right? Objectivity is king. So, we're always about what it is, not what you think it could be, but just what it is for the sake of saying this is it. Up, down, only thing that matters. Anything that you think, meaningless. So, trying to get a bowl created here. So, shout out to everybody throwing some morning bits. I appreciate you guys. What is it? Peace Outside. John Wayne, Abra, Duber, Robbie, Yanni, Izzy. Damn. Appreciate y'all. Shit, I didn't get started yet. What's going to something good in the pre-roll? You loving that art? Loving the artwork? So I got the first, so I've been back on Twitter a month, and I gotta say it. I got the very first fucking repost by any big account that actually comes from fucking starting following me. So the amount of big accounts out there that most of you don't know come from following me is quite insane. And pretty much all of them stayed radio silent since I came back, because if you ever find me, you're probably not gonna follow them, But yeah, my account finally broke high since coming back. So shout out to Mbessa for being the G and supporting our return. A lot of CTs isn't happy to see us back because, your business models are definitely fucking in question if we're out here, especially since we can explain where the fuck your business model came from. But that's not this show. This isn't a good morning show, but it is a feel good show. Because you guys feel good when you're here, right? Because there's money on the table. Only stands paying rent. Oh man, yeah, I have to look at that. Only stands, right? Before it was news, bitches. Do you guys how crazy that is? August 1st. You guys what level of bear market situation you're dealing with? Crypto bottoms really at like June 11th on the forecast of LTC. The world is like bleeding here. to throw out a gigantic bull flag and point a big ass arrow and be like, yeah. And if you never read the write-up, because most of you don't, right? Remember what no one was paying attention to? The CHIPS bill, right? Funding from the government for semis. What do you think the government's funding semis for? AI races now, right? So yes, China's got their own AI fucking race going on, and so is the US. And Biden funding semis was basically Biden funding AI from the government. If the risk-on move continues and this bill does go through, NVIDIA likely rotates the entire bull flag at this resolution, this gigantic resolution, and along with many others in its industry. So, guys been following semis? I hope so, right? Let's see. Let's look at just semis in general. Oh, it's not a semi chart, is it? Where is it? Is that a semi chart? Maybe it's over here. Did I never do TA in the semis? Man, that doesn't look right. Nope, I guess I never did. Oh well, not a big deal. So we put NVIDIA on top of him. Well, let's just put August 1st. And then let's look at AMD, Clack, NVIDIA, TSM for shits and giggles, M-chip. Just some semis that we know, right? What a rotation, with NVIDIA being the single best of breed. You wouldn't believe it. I was in here fucking getting my dumbbell props up. I was trying to fucking give you a play best of breed, you know, go for the strength, but I wasn't looking as fit as I thought I used to be on camera, so we had to reshoot that shit. Mid-40s niggas. Oh boy. Gonna have to go on some kind of diet. But I still do wear form-fitting shit, you know. I'm not a total fat ass, so I'm alright. So how many of you guys, like, you know, paid attention through the show, through us talking about the AI conference, and were able to capitalize on NVIDIA or something around it, you know, that was moving in a correlated fashion with that rip? The main thing is, right, having all this intel and having very few people make it to it, you know, reduces the value of this station if we cannot get a lot of you to actually convert intel into, you know, actionable things. And it's really nice to have all the intel on the station that we do and capture everything that we do in that intel and on the show, but it's no benefit to us if our viewers don't actually do something with it. So for all you that are in Guardians on the station, I have, you know, restructured OnlyFans, and hopefully you guys are liking it. For anybody who's just now paying attention to what the fuck and is FOMOing the original OnlyFans, don't do that. So we no longer post to this OnlyFans. We post to OnlyStans in Discord. So I just got FOMO 2 people here who clearly have been sleeping and didn't realize I no longer post here for like a calendar year. OnlyFans is moved to OnlyStans in Discord. So in case you didn't know that, you have to be part of YouTube Premium, and we don't want you there until you know some basics, because the amount of intel on the show is more than enough for you guys. So people who are organized and are actually like doing a career at this, that's what we want to cater to right now. We want to get the guys who are starting from the show and move to a place where, you know, adding other layers of information could be useful to you, but it's not going to happen until you have like a professional acumen and you can actually handle what it takes to be your own standing business and accounting for everything to do with your research, your timing, your patience, and your, you know, everything. Just managing that amount of information is a lot. Like I said, a lot of people here do really well trading like 3 things or less, you know, and we call sometimes in a show like enough shit that give you plans for years. So not everybody here needs to trade Forex, crypto, stocks, and indexes, you know, every single day. Some people are index traders, some people are Forex traders, and sometimes I'll pass with the intel for Forex that you can latch onto and make a plan for and wait till that comes in for you. And you don't have to pay attention to crypto because it's not what you're focused on. I think a lot of people get caught up in trying to trade everything because we do hit a lot of stuff. But that's going to get you in all kinds of trouble, right? I put an analysis station together for traders, not for one trader to hit everything on the show. That's crazy. I put a show together for many people of many disciplines in many different time frames and many different asset classes to have the research hub that CNBC and Bloomberg have failed to provide. So, you know, manage your emotions. You're not supposed to hit everything on the station. It's really cool. We hit a lot of stuff in the station, but we don't see people killing themselves trying to hit every single thing that's ever been said fucking on every single show. That's crazy and it's not possible. So, you know, that's a memo. We got that. No FOMO. Where'd it go? Oh man, I gotta show you guys something. How crazy is this? So we talked about it a lot, right? Where's this jinxie motherfucker? Let me see if I can find this real fast for you guys. So I just showed you this jinxie shit. Wait for it, wait for it. Where'd it go? Remember this guy? I showed you this Jinxie McJinxerson. And this guy told you, boy, this guy is the jinx. 400 Bitcoin 2015. And then he fucking put his big old eggplant on motherfucking BRICS. There's no war with BRICS, in my opinion. Just a few nations having a moment of expressing dislike with the US. Dog, really? I told you, that guy's a legendary jinx. And we talked about it, right? The hole in the armor of fucking Europe was Macron. The midget, right? That's got little man syndrome like Napoleon, who already kind of made grumblings towards China. Well, well, well. What do we have here? Damn it. I had that all queued up. Now I can't find it. Damn it. I was all set to transition to that all smooth like. Looky. What are the chances? Nailed it. Talk about call of the century, right? The one weak spot in NATO. You heard it here first. Macron. Can't trust the French. Because the French are still bitter that they don't run the world. If you never really understood the beef with the French and everybody else, the French are like arrogant upstarts that think they're bigger than they are. So they still want to be like an empire, but they just aren't. But they won't let go of it. You know, it's kind of like Erdogan and the Turks, right? Most of your former empires just won't let go of their position. And it's not different for them. They absolutely hate being under Germany. They hate England. And a chance to ally with somebody else to make them something again, that's an easy fucking call. That's why I know Europeans like the fucking French. Can't trust them motherfuckers. But anyways, right, it's about survival. It's not really, you know, no one likes the French. According to the Europeans in my room, nobody likes the French. But I guarantee right now, if that wasn't true, it's true now. But Macron's going to do what's best for him, because ultimately being, you know, subservient inside the EU and fucking ultimately at the behest of the United States has worked out worse and worse and worse for everybody involved. It isn't just BRICS that's sick of us. Fucking NATO, if they had the way we get from under us too, many allies. It's just kind of the only place to be. And so there was no other better place to join until BRICS gives you an option. You want to do something that isn't just this fucking imperialistic fucking dog shit being forced to the United States, you know, yeah. People fucking don't want what the U.S. is selling. People haven't wanted for a long fucking time. There's just been no way to get from underneath this fucking tyrannical power because it wrecks every country that doesn't listen to it. So there's nowhere to ever go. You really can't escape this fucking white death. So now there apparently is an option, right? What an insane call. Ben is Kramer times a million. That motherfucker said Bitcoin is toast and it literally arced out of there. He then said BRICS isn't a threat and fucking BRICS is like overtaking fucking the economies of NATO. Macron's defecting. And then he says, hold on, wait for it. I got one more. I can see if I can find this with some amount of speed. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Remember, he has all the data, he said. And yeah, I'm going to clown this motherfucker because he's only a fucking clown. Watcher Guru. Called it. Benny fucking said it. Nothing will stop the dollar. Whoops. And you want to see how quickly that response time is? It's an instant thing, right? Those of you who understand the synchronicity, you understand, like, you know, this isn't something later. Either all the dummies think what he thinks, or he was the anomaly, and he's never the anomaly. Here, let me find this for you. 400. Gotta be quick. He decided to correct me on this, trying to dodge the fact he's caught being a jackass on Bitcoin fucking like 8 years ago. So I totally misunderstood. And such is partly my fault, right? For me, Bitcoin and crypto is never going to overtake the US dollar, which is why I repeatedly stated that and listed no one will be their own bank and Bitcoin would not become the world reserve currency. So he's ultra pro dollar. And so nothing is going to threaten the dollar, not BRICS, not anyone. And BRICS is not a threat and all of that. And God forbid, the same mindset that told us that this was toast here did not just bring that emotional, biased, religious, psychotic fucking mindset to BRICS and just jinx all of us to our fucking doom. But yes, he did. Yes, he did. It's what he does. He loses people money. God forbid that man opens his mouth on fucking gravity while floating in space. But yeah, bias is a killer. Sometimes it's just piss, nigga. He is the ultimate dumb money indicator. Fucking Bitcoin 400? Jesus Christ. Are you looking at the chart? Hold on, let's go back. What chart didn't I show you? Yeah, hold on. Let me get the other quote he has about that. I'll help you fucking really see how, like, completely, he is, like, single-handedly taking apart the nation. Not exactly, but it's funny. Oh, please let me get this right in one shot. There it is. So then he's doing his rant, right? There's no war with BRICS, in my opinion, just a few nations having a moment. And the post before that, nothing will ever threaten the dollar. Janet Yellen says, hold my beer. It appears something is threatening the dollar. But don't you worry, he has all the data. And so there's a way people speak when they're clueless. And that's what I've become really adept at reading, and the decades of interacting with this human animal, is why it lies and how it lies. And when it does lie, what does it delete to kind of reinforce its position? Because the act of doing all of that is the act of deleting total information that's observable in order to sell his little unique bias. And that's what's so dangerous about bias, right? In order to have a bias, you have to delete some amount of information in order to formulate this little cornered perception. And depending on how strong you are emotionally and how big your ego is, that little fucking window becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. And you see less and less of the world. Guys like this never know what's going on. But they're great to observe, right? A lot of people are like, why do you talk to the dummies on Twitter? Because I don't have any Warren Buffett to talk to, so I'm going to talk to the niggas who lose money to Warren Buffett. Right? It's zero-sum game. Just as good as finding Warren, don't you think? I don't have to find Warren. I can find all the idiots that are going to lose to him. No one ever thought of that? Seems logical. Seems logical, right? I think so. But yeah. God forbid he says anything else. We're all going to die. Oh, boy. I'm sure he means well. I'm sure he's not meaning to destroy fucking whole nations with every tweet, but he's doing a rock star job, I gotta say. Anyhow. Funny shit, right? Funny shit. He should start his own show. He said he Googled everything, right? And he's got all the data. I haven't been looking at anything for the last 20 years to figure out what I said. But hey, what do I know? I'm just immediate in the mask. All right. After much ado about nothing, I finally got this ready. So if you didn't get it in the picture this morning, that was smoke. that was it. I had to do this part when I came on, but I fucking was a little tied up here. Oh my God. Sweet Jesus. See it? No, smoke. That was kind of the look and theme. It was like a bar look, You think it's a cup of beer. It's not. But anyways, I'm sure you guys get all that. So, now that we've got all that insane shit going on, Macron in motion, the dollar now obviously at risk, right? That is going to promote some fear and some reasons to really keep track of currencies. There could be even more volatility coming, right? Especially with anticipation of what the Fed might do, with inflation kind of showing that their efforts are working. So there's a lot of things to consider, right? Rising rate cycles are kind of a strength to currency, and the U.S. looking to back off that with an attack on the U.S. dollar as a reserve is definitely a fundamental underpinning that we want to fucking stay on top of, right? This is a fluid situation. It's not going anywhere. It's been in the making for a long fucking time. So one of the reasons I've kept track of it is because it's been in the making for such a long time. So what are we at right now? It is 9:28. Let me try and give you guys a quick synopsis on what's happening as we open up for the bell. So you guys who want to run away from here and want to strangle me for being on here this long talking this shit can go make some money. Got moments to tell you something useful, so here it comes. It's gonna be quick. Pay attention. What do we got? So market's bullish as fuck still. Oh, all kinds of shit on here that shouldn't be on here. Wait, don't worry. I know my screen's not sharing. I know what's going on. I'm hip. I'm with it. Ta-da! NASDAQ. What's he doing? So for all you futures traders, change your contracts, right? You're at the NQU. So we've lost our levels, but we use the old one because I have levels there we can see. And, you know, that's how far we out of the prep I gave you guys last week. Insane fucking pump right now. Sitting on this little level that I marked out. If you can hold this little range, you could bounce and still go higher. Shit is just absolutely insane, right? The strength in the market is likely still tech. What do we have? Nope, not tech this morning. It rotated down. So what do we got moving here? Some healthcare names moving. Tesla has been a freight train. And energy, like I said, been creeping under the radar with nobody watching it. On Monday's show, I told you guys to pay attention to industrial names, and there was huge rips, right? So if you guys stayed on top of that, where did you go? Like things like Caterpillar, Deere, so you guys to stay on top of these guys. And you can see some of these guys starting to make a comeback, and you're starting to see it, right? Some real gases coming out of these dudes. And, you know, right here, big pump there. Cat, talked about him, right? Mega gas from here, the Monday show. Right here, this is the Monday show. So you guys pay attention, right? A low flag out there. Good thing to watch onto. Bang, right? Nice pump for anybody that paid attention to that. And so with NVIDIA pumped out as far as he is, right? He's like a, you know, top tier house in your like city that is going so fucking absolutely crazy that, you know, my house might not be in the golf course, but if that thing's moving that far, my shit can't still be the same price, right? That's kind of the way you gotta think about it. So now if NVIDIA is gonna sit there, there's a chance for a whole bunch of other guys to reprice on NVIDIA and chase his ass to the echelon that he's telling you that, you know, that his specific industry is now pricing him at. And so we look for sympathy plays, right? Anything that has any kind of correlation, you know, or loose correlations with NVIDIA are worth keeping track of. Anybody that's touching the same economic systems NVIDIA is touching is absolutely worth keeping track of, right? So we look at AMD and these guys, right? We had him on the show. We talked about watch him using a bull flag, and these guys are all rather stable. They're not even coming back and dipping into the gap, which is insane. But at the end of the day, we know the market is fucking cornered, and we begin to arc harder, right? We talked about this. Whenever you have a giant bull flag like this, and you begin to rally up through it, right? The sentiment is awful to come out of the bottom. That's what lets you come out of the bottom. But the leaking information that, hey, this thing's actually going, especially when Goldman now wants to tell you in a bull market where you're halfway up, this NVIDIA's at the top, begins the fucking rotation of sentiment from the crowd that begins the exit for the people in the depths of this. And when you get that, you get like arcing parabolic prices because you get exponential demand over supply, right? And that's what we call the marketing phase. Let me see if my album's open to pull that chart up for you real quick. Of course not. One sec. I got that guy. Let me see if I can find this at really fast speed. It's a good graph. I need to pull it. I keep saying it and I don't have it right pulled up for you guys. So let me find it real quick. Well, this guy, he has it on it. I don't have like the really good one. But this guy has, you know, the basic cycle. And so when NVIDIA is really a good idea, right? He's a good idea down there as he rotates like September, October. He's all the way out the top. And just now, like, hey, AI is the buzzword. And Goldman's like, you know, we might be in a bull market. Well, for those guys who are lagging him and rotating up the bull flag, right? This arc, the real big arc, right? The enthusiasm, it comes, you know, after you dump it and run it, mania phase, right? The awareness phase is where you are, though. So now they're letting the crowd know. And stop fucking telling you recession. Now we might be in a bull market, right? Just months later after they've been telling you recession. And remember, Goldman Sachs are no plebs, right? Them being late is only fucking like danger. They're never late. So they just now want to tell you. And now the stations will now repeat it, And so all of that rotation of NVIDIA is long gone before Goldman, I think they said this last week, you could be in a bull market. Think how far NVIDIA's moved before they told you. And just think, right? You know that the top fucking 7 stocks that are moving the S&P aren't moving because a bunch of us are pushing it, right? $1 trillion companies aren't going to reprice the entire fucking risk asset pool of the S&P 500 on the back of retail. We're not Wall Street bets. Wall Street bets can't push that shit. So institutions are pushing it. The exact ones who just told you it's a bull market after they bought it. Always got to pay attention to this shit, right? So the media attention phase allows for a change in trajectory. Things can actually get more fucking aggressive. And that's the thing that you see the broad sentiment. Well, I need a pullback. I'm so far outside of NVIDIA. Give me a discount. Well, as long as that guy says that, he doesn't have NVIDIA and he still wants it. There'll come a place where the emotions will overwhelm him and he'll have to take it and he'll buy that next fucking cycle high. And before he does it, a bunch of other people who realize, shit, I might be able to still make some money. It might not be done. They'll beat him. So that's who gets in here, right? Think of this as the arc that happens in the back end of 2017, like September, October, November, December, right? Actually, they get arcs up from there. That gas pedal move, right, is what most people remember about 2017. But Bitcoin's coming from like fucking like 1,000 and like literally up, 5-6x before he does anything crazy up here. Nobody thinks about that part. Just like the internet bubble too. Most of you think of the internet bubble, right? You only really remember 1999. None of you realize how long that actual pump was going. What is in the headlines is the climax structure of the crash cycle of Cisco in doing this and coming down. That's what you remember. But have you really looked at how long that thing was moving before the crowd actually realized I should probably do something with this? Let's take a look. Right? Before the media attention arc, right? Dip and fucking complete nuclear haul ass. Right? This is where most people think of the internet bubble. This is where all the wacky, crazy money's made. Just this. Like gas pedals from here, right? When you have this is Billy Clinton's impeachment. And you have Billy Clinton's impeachment and the Asian contagion happening here as there's like a crisis in the Korean banking system. And that movement here, that's actually the really big fucking sentiment kicked the wrong way. And from that, this entire arc happens. And then, hey guys, it's a bull market. I was in this. This is how that worked. There is no fucking bullish sentiment in 1998. You should be in this. While this has been happening since I'm fucking in like middle school. There's nobody talking about that. I kid you not. It's nothing like that is being said, right? This thing is fucking running from George Bush 1 to Billy Clinton's impeachment here, and you have no idea. Now, do you have any idea how much money is really made there versus what you think of as a bull market? Most people don't. Right? If you go from just to where Billy Clinton is, that's 480%. If you go from that point on, that's 150. That's where the real money is. And this is the exit of the public. That's why it looks like that. When the public dogpiles on this late institutional money, there's too much demand for available supply, and you get a parabolic effect. It's a function. It steepens out and it accelerates because there's too many people buying at once over what's available, and you get an exponential growth rate of demand on supply, and it shows itself as an exponential arcing curve that goes towards 90 degrees, an unsustainable trajectory in nature, doomed to fucking fail, right? Stall like a plane going straight up. So paying attention to the arc trajectory is really important. The speed of this price will kind of give you an idea of where the real FOMO happens. It's not really happened yet. Not with the broad amount of guys in there. You look at these guys. Right? You can, what the heck? It's not sliding. What the fuck is going on? It's doing crazy shit. That doesn't look normal. What the actual fuck is this? What the fuck? I'm not... Do whatever you want, motherfucker. Oh, yeah. So, I don't know. I guess we brought this up for a reason. That's some weird-ass thing. Remember this thing I posted? So, these crises, Madoffs, Enrons, Sam, these major crises, always great timing events for rotations. I gave it 2 possible timings, the Madoff timing or the Enron timing. Looks like we're on the Madoff timing. Not bad, eh? I leave these charts out here. Motherfuckers be hating. You know how OG I am on TradingView? I'm the reason they actually put this. Often imitated, never duplicated. See that right there? That's my saying that they stuck on their charts. I'm the super chartist. So, pretty funny, right? Left this guy sitting by today. Ain't nobody gave a fuck. Bet they wish they'd paid attention now. But anyways, back to our point. Where the fuck? Where's the chart I actually had? Right, the arc speed, right, to go almost straight up, almost looks like that's about here, right? You can see kind of NVIDIA, right, where it just goes fucking straight the fuck up. That's where the crowd hits it. This little grindy move right there, so it's like the IXIC, right? That's the NASDAQ, by the way. What? Oh, shit. Right, there's this place where you see this, and then you see this ridiculous change in speed, and that's the crowd being funneled into the final exit. That second acceleration upwards, the thing that's usually not rare, right? This rising channel would usually be like a corrective structure, but if it ever accelerates this way and actually changes its attitude, and you see the volume pick up with it, that's almost always retail death, right? Because remember, smart money can't build positions if price doesn't stay in a place for a period of time. So when price is hauling ass at these kinds of speeds, this is only retail getting involved. So, well, short education on bull flags and reprices. Learn something? Y'all get all that? Y'all get this? Right, so you always listen to where Goldman starts to tell you, okay, yes. Goldman's not the latest guy in the room. Right, as much as I'd love to say it, I'm not smarter than Goldman. Right, those guys are the smartest money. Always remember this article. And remember how old this article is, too. With AI around, you guys know you're not the first ones fucking with AI, right? These guys have been there a lot longer than us. So, oh, you gotta make this article charge? Please don't. It's OG article, 2010. Goldman being one of them, right? Capable of running an entire quarter without missing a single fucking day. Is late to fucking telling you there's a bull market? 13 years later? You really think so? Do you really think Goldman couldn't figure it out before us? Anybody believe that story? You could do this fucking back there. Hell, 4 of you could do it together. And by the way, if 4 banks are always right every day, who in the world would pay that bill? Oh, right, it's us. What a motive that gives you. Probably never going to be on time with anything I give a shit about. Right? But I paid attention to Goldman for a long time. And if you believe in those guys, your bias will fucking kill you because they're absolute fucking savages in the marketplace. I actually have a great illustration of that myself. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? One sec. I got an OG Goldman comic if I can find it. It's in here somewhere, but I probably can't see it through the list of sea of shit I got. But I have a Goldman comic for Tesla in 2016 that's just epic. If you want to see how fucking ridiculous these guys are. Come on, spot it. Too many charts. Looking. It's worth it. There he is. The OG Goldman. I've been watching these dicks do this to people for some time. Do you guys really believe that a firm that could be as accurate as like not missing for an entire quarter would actually fucking call Tesla dead wrong on the dead low? That is the last time Tesla's ever at that price. This is pre-split Tesla. This is like Tesla now like $50. Like this is fucking like forever. Actually, this is 2 splits ago, I think. Did Tesla split again? I don't remember exactly. But this is 2017. It is literally the exactly worst call you could ever make on Tesla at the worst moment, like to the candle. They missed. What do you think? Perfect trading, perfect indicator like Ben also? I don't think both those people can occupy the same place. What do you think? I don't think so. I think somebody saw this bag of goods. Don't you? Doesn't it seem likely they might be bullshitting you? Just maybe, right? Yes, sir. Pretty crazy. Gotta love those comics. Comic strip TA, motherfuckers, keeping track through history with a little bit of artsiness. Remember when CT thought they were going to dump their bags on Wall Street? I do remember that. Actually, I have a comic for that. That one I can find faster. Hold on, I got that guy ready. I think, watch, can't find it now for shit because I said that. Jinx is real, you know. God damn it. I know I have that thing in this folder. Don't attempts to not look retarded and is failing miserably. Damn it. I just jinxed myself. Now I don't actually know what folder that thing's in. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Now I gotta find it. That's a great comic. Confounded Jackson. Where'd I put it? There it is. Yes, the exact quote you said, sir. Where is it? Well, here it is. There's a couple of them that said it. Wall Street is also on the bid. How would you ever discern such a thing? Do you see this? Where would you figure that out at? You got to be careful when people speak like this on Twitter. They'll tell you anything. And if the guy's got enough followings, he can just make it up as he goes along, right? Pretty fucking crazy. This really was just a CME trying to get a good long entry. Because a CME is an exchange is always trading, right? What? CME's not fucking taking positions. What the fuck are you saying? What's my screen doing that? What the world is going on my screen? So yeah, this was always one of the funniest things, right? And the sea of idiots that fucking followed this. See, when people don't realize how cornered fucking crypto 2017 was, right? And that parabolic climax where everyone and their mom wants it, and the fucking influencers shoving into it, and the fucking TV shoving into it. The victims were really the interesting part of this, right? Because this guy was just a pleb. He wasn't a big influencer, but Trav was. Trav was like 200,000 people back in that cycle. He was huge already. And so was Martin. But the people who were agreeing with this were other smaller influencers. This guy's got like 50,000 people right here. This guy like 35,000 people. And they're on everything. All these are actually Moko had like 50,000 people. So the people who believed in this idea, him being the point of value for a fucking audience that watches him, was other points of values of other audiences. You gotta remember, right? A point of value in a sea of shit still shit. When the points that is in the sea of shit are other points of value in other fucking seas of shit, it's just shit on shit. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. They're shitty people. That would be the point. But bias can lead you all over the place. If you think they know what they're talking about simply because they have large followings, if you think Goldman's reputable because he is on Wall Street and he is here to help you, you know, mama, papa at home get fucking rich as fuck off of the trades they're in, you have to be smoking fucking better drugs than I can clearly find because I don't feel shit. I'm not even kidding. I literally don't feel fucking anything. You guys know when I got good weed. I would have slowed down by now. Anyways. Views on ADA. Hey, Sonny, we'll check out ADA when we get to crypto section. So good of you to remember that question and show. Appreciate it. Sea of shit on she of shit. You know, say that 3 times fast. Don't. There's gonna be a bunch of spit everywhere. Anyways, SG Crypto Dave wants more Clonex. Okay, we can look again. We actually did Clonex in the last show. I don't know if you saw that last one, but I actually did Clonex TA. Is it the last show or the one before that? Open-minded robot said, I love that name. Open-minded robot. What are you, the future of AI, bro? What kind of a fucking name is that? I have that chart. Japan's Nikkei. Yes, you're right. And like I said, Japan is the strength in the world. And I would love to go to this place. This place looks, I think it's where Artifact did that crazy billboard. This looks like a fucking booming square. I don't know. It looks like almost surreal, right? It's I don't know. It looks like it could come out of their animes. It's so cool looking. Definitely one of my bucket list places to go is this place. But yeah, Japan Nikkei tops 32 China. Asia markets mostly rise ahead of U.S. Fed meeting. See that sentence? You might not realize it, but a person who doesn't know Japan has been strong for quite some time and sees this is going to think that the Fed meeting pushed Japan to this spot and have no reference that it's been running for a while. It's cleverly written. Not cleverly written. It's just miswritten to be a benefit to a person who wants to actually know what's going on in the marketplace. There's no way to really discern it with what they've written here. You really can't tell anything really serious is going on for Japan by the sentence. It's just hit a mark because the Fed's coming today. Let's see what the Fed does because the U.S. is probably going to lead the world. And this kind of U.S.-centric news writing that makes you think that like nobody is of shit unless the U.S. is doing something. There could be reasons Japan's rising because of Japan. Who'd have thunk that, right? But they're not remotely trying to sell that idea, right? Japan is just kind of eking out another number that you shouldn't pay too much attention to because the U.S. is doing stuff. And this is one of the reasons that no one will catch on. Yeah, it's been in the press, but not in the way it's like, hey, Japan's in a new bull market like Goldman said about the U.S. They're not saying that. So this would be media attention phase, right? But not mania. I guess I'm going to smoke this garbage till I feel something. I think fucking YouTube can like read my words or something because they actually turned down one of my fucking shows because they said something was not suitable for my advertisers, which I would imagine. Probably this. They know the stress of pre-production, motherfucker. You be smoking too. Anyhow, so that being said, what can I say? Stress is gone. Can you check UNH? Okay, well, I guess you're making your list. I see that. So Nikkei coming up. What else did I miss? Plug. No one's asked Plug in a while. Jay Miller said if Ben started the show, Vix McGinn would hit tomorrow. Bro, that's probably not a bad call, bro. We all die if that motherfucker says too much shit. Like, God forbid. Do not speak it into this universe. Alright? The universe is, not, if nothing else, insanely efficient. Have I done like most of the show with this mask up? I had a plan to like... Oh well. Alright. Guess that means it's go time. It's like, over the top. The hat, it's like a switch. I don't know how many of you guys know that movie, but I love that movie. Stallone movies are fucking the truth. More people watch Stallone, you'd have less people confused about their fucking pronouns. I swear to God. Anyways. How many of you guys checked out the spaces? I think hit like 2,500 listeners. Pretty fucking cool. Wish my show would hit 2,500 motherfucking views. I had to go pull a Tucker Carlson and start doing this show on fucking Twitter. What do you guys think? I might have to try one of these. I don't know how that would work because I like talking to y'all in the chat. I don't know how I could talk to the screen. I mean, I'm crazy. I could talk for like an hour by myself and have no one talk back to me, but I have the idea that someone might be listening to me because y'all are in there chatting. If I'm talking on Twitter, I'm probably going to feel kind of freaked out. But anyways, I don't know. I might check it out. Tucker seems to be having a great time doing it. So where are we? I know I skipped over some of your war stories. So we're not doing a 2-hour show today, and I'm not saying that to jinx it to do a 2-hour show today. So we're going to go ahead and look at the war stories, and then we're going to go over and do a macro view, and then I'll get to some of your questions on some of your symbols. What is it, sir? I'm not sharing screen yet. No, I'm not sharing anything. Give me a second. So many messages coming out of multiple fucking devices. That's confusing. All right. What am I doing? Oh, yeah, war stories. So, let's see what you guys got. Better be some... Oh, yeah, there was some left over here. All right. There was a book, right? It was Crossman. That's right, that refurbished motherfucker. All right, let's see what you got. Lessons on life management. Buy a fucking full fucking, warranty-backed iPhone. That's a fucking lesson. No, I'm kidding. Oh, right, this is long. Damn, Crossman. Use ChatGPT and say, keep under X amount of characters and we're going to be in business. Anyway, it's definitely been a while since I wrote a war story, but oh my fucking God, if one needs to be written, it's definitely going to be this one. I am definitely mind blown that this actually happened, but I can only fathom that it did thanks to the countless lessons we all got from Kaz. I'm not going to dive too much into details. Bitch, how you go write a fucking book and then talk about I'm not going to dive into details? Nigga, what the fuck am I about to read if there's no details? Bruh. Alright, let's see how this develops. But one thing that Kaz has been telling us over and over and over again is not to go into his DMs because he's not our girlfriend or mama. However, he also said that it is possible sometimes to reach out to him over some personal issues, and so I did. Uh-oh. I'm almost scared where this is going. Like I said, most of the stuff that you have, unless it's personal, you should discuss in Discord because unless it's a unique to you thing, most people have perspective on it. And it can be beneficial sometimes to see things when you're not like caught in the crosshairs of the situation. Sometimes that third person gives you a chance to have an epiphany about that situation in your own world. So that's one of the reasons I ask you guys to discuss everything that you have, like, concerns or revelations about the channel in the channel, because it's either an anomaly for you or you just reveal something that lots of people didn't realize was valuable. So that's the point of the group conversation. What do you got here? So, however, he also said that it's possible. Okay. Life, markets, opportunity is the most impartial judge there is. It does not care about excuses, reasons, or whatever. All it cares about is whether you're ready for it or not. And what you get in return will simply be the reflection of that. I was in a situation where I was fucked up due to my own fucking up. Very descriptive. And I was reaching out to Kaz in an attempt to face and manage the situation. Okay. So far, so good, sir. Sorry, you know me. Weird stuff. What I wanted to put focus on is that this type of shit, exactly what would have made it so that I'm ejected out of the market. And guess when I texted Kaz about it? Yesterday. Okay, when's the date of this post? 7 days ago. Yesterday at that time. As I'm doing more crypto, I put on USDT chart. It's the 1 hour chart, so the next candle after this is 9 a.m. Chart is flipped, by the way. Okay. So, okay, got it. Can't make this shit up. It's easy to see how now, but chart definitely did not look like this at that moment. It looked more like this. I was definitely mind fucked at the moment. To anybody who's already been in that kind of voice call, I can say that it was the exact same feeling as when you're on an operating table, if you know what I mean. I'm saying this because even though I'm aware of what sentiment read is and how our lives can be put on the charts, at that moment, I was too emotionally fucked up to have the mental space to even realize what was going on. Again, look at the meme. Can't move. Looking at this, I was always more focused on the heart ripping out part, but these people are holding you in such a way that you can't do shit else. However, and thankfully, I was prepared, and thank you, Kaz, once again for the fire intel. Oh, that's the absolution level. Okay. All right. My mental state on this is I don't know for sure what's going to happen next on this chart, but I've got a plan so that whatever comes from this gets me closer to my goals in life. Can't post play for now. That's the point I wanted to highlight through this war story. If you really want to catch the opportunity and don't know which month, day, hour, minute, or second that it will finally hit, but you do know that at some point it's most likely can happen, then what other chance do you have other than being constantly present, be it physically or mentally? You can either somehow know when it will happen and show up there, or know that at some point it will happen and stay ready all the time until it happens. If you ask me, I'd say that only the second option actually makes sense, because if you have information about some opportunity about to hit and you know that you're going to show up at X specific time and then thing is going to happen, then doesn't that mean you're being ready for it? There is no other option. Furthermore, we know that everything is either a 1 or a 0, yes or no. Something exists or it does not. We live within a binary universe, so you either correlate with the shit that's positive for your goals, future, and dreams, or the shit that's not within the closed system. In my situation, I was the one who started getting in my own way and losing focus on what really matters. Managing your life correctly is one of the most, if not the most important things when it comes to trading, because if you're not around and ready at the right time to seize an opportunity, then you just won't get it. I gotta say, I understand the sync that happened at this moment, but I don't fully get what exactly you're speaking about. I guess at the emotional moment that you posted that, it was the moment to act, but your nerves were on fire. And I guess it's an introspection, that many people don't really have. Like, the trade that you're the most confident about, they're almost always your worst trades. You guys know that. The one that you're terrified you're going to get wrecked and nothing's going to work out, and I'm on a streak, and God fucking damn it. And you know what? Fuck it, just take all my money. That's the one that goes. And the ability to kind of detect, that emotional fucking swing inside of yourself, which is a correlation with, the flock of birds that you're entangled with. You are imparted emotions, and a lot of times you don't know from where, from your own life and just from fucking the civil society you live in, where we do share emotions like a fucking school of fish. Having the objectivity to read those emotions yourself and recognize as a potential opportunity is a very rare skill. I know very few traders who can act on their own emotions and figure out how to counter trade that nervousness. But this is something that's a good notation to take, that you can now recognize how your emotional state was at that moment. That in itself is a fundamental of the price action at that time, right? Because it's either an anomalous state of mind for you, or it was the bulk of participants who didn't capitalize on that motion that were likely in the same correlated mind state. That allows you to do two things: pay attention to your own fucking read on self, and pay attention to anybody else who's notoriously on the wrong side of shit, Ben, and fucking see if he's an emotional bitch right before shit takes off. I don't mean specifically him, but anything that correlates with that bitch. So I think I get what you're getting at. And again, like, right, when you go running to my DMs, oftentimes it's an emotional moment. And if at that moment you can pay attention to the fact that you're in your feelings, there's likely fucking available information that's outside of your vision, because emotions cloud your vision. And so the moments you're emotional, opportunity is almost always around. So hopefully I recovered that book of war story. Thank you, Mr. Crossman. It's 1:06, Vitch. I'm gonna get off of here. I'm not making it to 2 hours. Swear to God. I was trying to have a good day yesterday. It kind of went crazy by being on here that long. But yeah, we're gonna on Monday. I mean, we're gonna get this. We're gonna get this inside of 2 hours. I swear to God. So at 1:06, Crossman's book is out of the way. It's only about 15 hours to read that. No, I'm kidding. Appreciate you, Crossman. Where the hell is it? So, some macro things. I'm gonna take your guys' questions. Let's see what we got. Oh my God, this fucking crazy shit. It does this thing where I can't slide the chart to the left. Oh, it's a train wreck. All right, let's just do this. Sorry, it does some weird shit. Reset everything. Stop being crazy. Huh. What can I say? I gotta get my lungs where I can get them. I'm always busy in these shows. Alright, there's the SPY. There's the Jinx. Alright, let's get this guy set up right. So, last shows we talked about it. SPY things, right? So our two main emotional triggers that we had: money as fuck, right? If you guys pay attention, gave you an actual exit zone right here on the Phantom Zone and a trigger level on Ragnarok. Boom, right into the next level. Nomics, sentiment level from October last year. Look for the flag on him. Did the flag on him, and then now rallied up to our next level, which is, what is that? Stevie D was reminiscing. What were you reminiscing about? So it's a double level with Goku. If you remember, Goku is actually Ragnarok. He changed his fucking name when he got caught as Ragnarok. He became Goku. So this is the same guy. So that emotional level and Stevie D, we know the Monolith Killer, they're legit. So I've got a box range in here. We probably should extend that guy forward. So let's go get, well, I'll just make another one. So just like we had this little range, right? This range was a really good setup range because it is the range with two different emotional extremes between two different populations. It's a great space to fucking pay attention to price. This is the same thing. These are two emotional levels, so we're gonna put a box range there and see if he creates a setup, around this guy to go through this, or counters off of it back here and then comes back again. But these are great areas to plan from. Like I told you, all these emotional levels generally will get price to congest, and then we can make a plan from there. So good shit. I really don't like two fucking yellow boxes, so let's. Looks pretty good, right? So we have all emotions. You guys have your OnlyFans, right? This is we had this sheet where we mapped out all these emotion levels from fucking this guy on here. Goku's legendary, and we put it into OnlyFans. So you should have these already, on your SPY chart. So following the roadmap of emotional levels looks pretty good. Don't know what the fuck you're doing. And then we want to look at our shooting cluster chart. All right, still running. Probably the most legendary call ever, using the mass shootings of America to figure out where the dead bodies in retail trading was, and mapping all of those to catch a bull flag rotation full of dead bodies. Gonna have to get the highlight for this. This is probably the most legendary call I think I've ever made, and using a method I'd never used before. Unfucking real. So anybody who's new, these are the locations of major mass shootings in the United States. They correlate with the dead bodies at the bottom of bull flags. Bull flags, right, only pump off of fucking a cornered monopoly of perception and people out of position to capitalize on the bull movement. Well, dead people can't buy shit. So we decided to track where lots of dead people pop up at, and who would have thunk it? They're exactly where you wouldn't believe, right? In the depths of all these corrections. Showing that outliers within our population's entangled emotional strata actually go to the furthest extremes under the emotional stress that everyone is suffering at the same time. This is capturing, really, the dynamic of how much price is people. So, still one of the most amazing studies I've ever done. Gotta say. So, with that said, right, there's a lot of dead people supporting this fucking run, and we know no one's in this shit, and the media phase is now beginning. So, there's probably other opportunities to pay attention to as this begins to fucking push out. Alright, so that being said, QQQ, tech stuff. Tech is the strongest part of this thing. I think I did this on some low res stuff. So down here maybe. Right, and so these are the last shows I brought them up on. Right, good range, nice little tight range I gave you here. Good setup and pumped out of that. And for you guys in the market today, right, it's kind of hindsight, but you're obviously watching a pump down. And this is a range to pay attention to. We have FOMC today. So pay attention to that. As far as events go, just today, tons of red events into the morning. FOMC here. Watch out for the Darth Maul move, and then GDP in the evening from New Zealand and Aussie. And this starts to become important as we have the dollar in focus. These can become more moving events with the DXY in the crosshairs around the world, and the media part with Yellen talking on it. Now it might be worth paying attention to some of these Pacific Rim guys that we don't really pay attention to these news impacts. But now it might be worth it in terms of the dollar to start watching these guys, and they're starting to pick up some strength, and the move is starting to become broad-based. You son of a bitch. All right, now I got my free roll. Okay, hang on a sec. Pretty amazing catch there for being live. Where's my fucking stop, bitch? Told you. Had to get that while I'm in this fucking show live. You wouldn't believe, yeah. I'm a little fucking tired, so I kind of get retarded. To be able to carry the convo, plus pay attention to that left screen and get myself out of here and hit the buttons for the fucking camera, it's a fucking lot. But doing the best to coordinate that shit. Where the hell did it go? That would be weird. What the fuck? Wait. Oh my god, that's not the right fucking thing at all. Oh. Right, so watching this today, right? On a Fed day, pay attention to this guy. You can get a run in the morning, so I was willing to try this. After this, I'm not doing shit because the market can turn to a chop zone pretty good on these kinds of days. The market's really bullish, but you got a Fed announcement coming and you're up a fucking lot. It's a good place to fucking really fuck people up. So pay attention to this as you're up this much. Money. So got cut to my free roll. Always got to get an opening move. See, I don't play that opening craziness anymore. And honest to God, my life's gotten so much better. So hopefully some of you guys found that crazy rip. What do we have this thing on? Right? That's that angle. You guys saw this thing? He's in this wedge. We did this in prep yesterday in the Discord for you guys that saw it. So this is the angle that we're tracking, and he dive bombed into it and he bounced. And now we see if he can get the fuck out of here. Right? It's definitely a touchy day to see if he'll just go right through the top. because you do have the Fed coming. But right now, as long as you're over the opens, right, Dick rules applies. And keep in mind the Fed's coming, so this guy can lose a lot of gas pretty quick once you get to the European close. After the Fed, like I said, you always pay attention to the Darth Maul rule. Fed will do this, and then you'll get some shit, and then he picks a direction, right? So for you that don't know the Darth Maul rule, I know I say that stuff, and sometimes some people here don't know it, right? The Fed will create an anomalous spike. You'll clear fucking the offers, clear the bids, and then he can decide a direction, right? He can do that, or he'll go up and structure out, and then he'll continue out, right? So, and then I'll tell you, let him finish off everybody who's dumb enough to be that close, and then when he picks a real direction, play that, right? Sometimes it can take 30 minutes, sometimes it can happen in 15, but just be patient if you're going to play inside the day after that Fed announcement hits. All right, that's futures things, diamonds, industrial stuff, because we talked about industrials possibly picking up strength and chasing down some of these tech names that are flying behind NVIDIA. Should keep him on the radar, right? Because we do see crazy strength over there in like Caterpillar, and starting to see strength in some other places. See strength in Deere. See some strength in banks, right? Talked about paying attention to banks right now. These guys could possibly break out and start to do some things worth keeping an eye on, right? Some of the banks aren't doing so bad, and there's a lot of fear on banks about commercial loans blowing these guys apart at any given minute. At least regionals. But some of your big guys, look a lot healthier than people really fucking believe, and no one's looking at these guys. They look like fucking NVIDIAs before they went crazy, So one thing we know is financials are deeply out of favor, right? And you don't want to be too early to this, but you do want to pay attention, because that's the kind of sentiment you need to fucking want to look, right? Last year, no one cared about NVIDIA down the gutter. Most people thought the world's going to end. And that's kind of the sentiments you need. That's where fucking these moon pumps come from. They come from fucking Armageddon mind states. So banking definitely has that, and this guy really doesn't look that terminal compared to some of the shit that happened in like guys like this. Right, some of these guys that pull back, well, he's one of the worst ones. Fifth. Right, some of these guys got really annihilated. This is another regional. All in all, they don't look that awful. They're at least cooking in a place that's worth paying attention to. So that's diamond things. DXY things, the dollar again, like I was saying, the dollar being under significant fucking attack right now, and it becoming known that there's actually worry from the top of fucking our own or former central bank head in the Treasury, Yellen, having a former central banker state that the DXY can basically, the dollar could be in trouble as a reserve currency, is like the cat's out of the bag moment, right? And so the DXY now heading into the Fed likely can see some really crazy shit on the Fed announcement, but we want to pay attention to this and see if this really catches gas. We were watching pound USD, and we told you this was a guy who was looking really, really good. He had a good bull flag sitting on a good level here, and he's rotating out right now. You got triggers out here that look like a good place to pay attention to them, because I already made this morning, and so yeah, that's that. I forgot to post them. Whoops. Anyhow, did I not post that guy this morning already? I think I might have forgot to post that bitch. No, please tell me I'm not a total retard. No, I'm not a total retard. I did post it. Okay, I was like, Jesus, I can't remember that shit. See, I don't know if I'm coming or going. But yeah, GBP is probably worth paying attention to. GBP, so a lot of things dollar, right? Is the dollar fucking tanks from here, right? Some of these guys are in some interesting places. This is, dollar yen, and we dropped a long time ago. He's under Leon's curiosity. Leon's curiosity first generated a pump, but we know it's a good level. And so bear flag here, outside of a bear angle here, this very much could be set up to actually do, what the fuck? A swing through that level. Euro USD is flagging right here, and we talked about him. If the dollar did actually fucking start to respond to this attack, he could follow this track out. Check it out. So we told you a zone to pay attention to. There he is. So there's our path through the yellow box range, which is our main congestion out of this bear angle of the larger bear flag. As the DXY weakens, this could generate a rotation in a bull structure like this, so we can see it there. And then obviously, right, you guys know the Mexican fucking peso for some reason has been the most gangster currency on the planet. That's a new world reserve right there. But a lot of things are moving on it, right? And like I said, NZD, these guys are all in a place now where the dollar, it's the cat's out of the bag. Even the dog shit will move against it, even if these guys have been out of favor for a while, right? they're all in some interesting long-term structures. And if this is a major attack on the dollar from BRICS that's not going to stop, then these are the kind of resolution bull flags that you want to pay attention to, right? This could be real serious. If this really gets fucking strength from here, this is a good level we have. He rotates up. Could see him stabilize and then head for this trigger range up top. So things are definitely happening in currencies. So if you've not been paying attention, I know a lot of people don't pay attention to currencies. All the more reason to pay attention to currencies, right? All right, currencies, VIX things. Oh yeah, and yen stuff, obviously, right? The yen is still on focus with Japan being the strength in the world in risk assets. Their currency is the dog. And that was what we said would probably generate, allow you to get a free ride on a carry trade on the yen. And so the pound being strong on the dollar, the yen is even weaker. It makes the pound yen even better breed. But if the dollar's going to stand attack, he can join this party. All right, so that looks good. And then, of course, euro yen was a laggard, but he's starting to get strength. So this is probably a good basket play to pay attention to. He should probably chase, right? He's a little bit weaker, but if he stabilizes in the euro pound market, then he'll allow the euro to bounce and catch strength on the pound and chase him, and it'll probably help him push this out. But either way, the yen is weak enough he might take even the laggards with him. CHF, JPY, all these guys structured real good from what we showed you, and these are all sitting in crazy places. All right, so that's the currency part. VIX things. Paying attention to VIX. So I saw some people trying to discuss this, right? Implied volatility is basically what it says. The implied volatility that can be discerned from insurance against the S&P, which is the VIX, right? Now, the cost of buying options on the S&P is back engineered to a calculation that tells you what the implied volatility is, and that's what the VIX is. So how expensive you're willing to pay for insurance, all things being equal, tells you a degree of what the market expects. So in COVID, right, the price of insurance went absolutely crazy and could keep on going crazier and crazier and crazier. And because it's really impossible for the amount of funds that are in the S&P to liquidate the S&P, so they can only really manage their risk through buying derivatives to hedge, exposure, buying into the VIX, with using VIX futures. And so what this tells you generally, is a lot of times you can see VIX motion before you really know why. Oftentimes, very known volatility events like earnings will, and big earnings seasons will generate earnings cyclical runs. So to give you an idea of that, right, Apple, so you can understand this, right? It's basically, most of us aren't going to move like the VIX on the S&P. That's going to be institutional money. That's going to be, buying options with such heavy demand that they drive the price up, and if prices aren't moving in the market but the implied volatility is getting higher, then it tells you somewhat demand is driving the price up for the same insurance, which is a reflection of fear about movement, because I'm willing to pay for a higher premium, all things being equal, which means I need more movement in the underlying to pay me back. And if I'm still willing to buy at higher and higher inflated premiums, it means that I still believe I'm going to fucking get paid back, which can likely really actually you can extrapolate my fear of how bad I think things are going to be. That's I'm trying to give a simple explanation of that. Let's see. AP. One sec. Let me get a list of something real quick. Oh, I'm such an idiot. Like I have 6 screens in here. I'm act like I've got one. So here, let's turn this stuff off. And so we look right here. Can I turn this into verticals? What the fuck? Can I make that show verticals and stuff? Thought I could. All right, so this is Apple's earnings events, right? And if Apple says something crazy in earnings, it could fucking destroy you. So Apple, this is a known place that there can be greater volatilities. So we're going to take him and turn him off, and we'll put Apple's implied volatility onto this thing. Am I retarded? I am retarded. Right? And this is Apple's VIX. And what you can see a lot of times, right, is that volatility would generally pump into an expectation of a place there could be a catalyst to make this thing move more. So I don't want to dump my Apple, but just in case he does something ape shit, I'm going to need to fucking hedge fucking, a range of motion outside of like what I fucking, want to tolerate. And so you start to buy insurance for it. And so there's a cyclicality you see with like, volatility towards known events that could cause motion. Now, there's other events that could cause motion, war, or it's institutions discerning that situation in Russia is more unstable than we think, or there's going to be an action from Saudi or whatever that could affect like the fuel markets and disrupt trade or whatever the fuck. So when you see these things move, like, well, who has a capacity to FOMO options to the degree that you can move this? It's not us. And so you can kind of read the tea leaves in this and kind of like anticipate, like, well, somebody knows something. And that's kind of like, I guess the simple version of like understanding volatility, right? And so this is one you can see the stochastic cyclicality of it with known events. And in some cases, right, it depends which quarter it's in. Things can be a little crazier. But generally speaking, you're going to see the stochastic kind of thing as you head into earnings. And there's a chance that earnings could be fucking, it has wide dispersion, meaning that like a lot of analysts aren't sure where it's going to come in at. That creates even greater uncertainty. It creates greater unknowns, and it creates, a FOMO for insurance. So this hopefully gives you guys a little understanding of it, right? It's an anticipation that the event could cause me damage. And so it implies what my level of fear tells me could happen in the market. If I'm still going to pay insurance here, the higher range of the market, people are generally pretty scared here. And at this range of the market, right, people aren't. So hopefully that helps you guys understand that a little bit better. Swear to God, COVID's got holes in my motherfucking vocab today. Where is that fucking thing? I just lost track of you, sir. There you go. Okay, cool. All right, so I got that figured out. So I just did VIX, DXY, crypto things. And I can get Mr. Cardano. So watching crypto things, we're still tracking this setup in BTC. And ultimately just looking at Bitcoin right now like this, right? There's a lot of stuff on this chart. Let's see, BTC, USD. These Binance, I never drawn Binance, right? But if you clean it up a little bit, what if, right? So while we track this angle right now to get through some of that noise, right, what's potentially there on this angle, it's potentially cooking a flag. One of the things is BTC is not in the crosshairs of Gensler, right? And this is one of the few that aren't. And so, like, if there is any kind of, relief on that side with what's going on with Gensler, this could be a relief rally for this risk asset, which is now kind of being suppressed while stocks are running. Before, it had been crypto that was strong and stocks were weaker. But we now have a risk arbitrage as you have like regulators aimed at crypto and nothing like that in stocks. So stocks are the best of breed now. But that can also flip, right? So we want to pay attention to this as it cooks. I mean, this is our angle out of the summer lows, and you could still hold this to still go a little higher. So that's not the worst case. ETH also is not in the crosshairs, and we had these two potentials for him before. Good volume zone right here. Didn't get out and clear or trigger here. He could come down to this area, and this is the main volume coming out of summer. He hits this, and there's a chance for him to come this low and then finally maybe hold the angle and still come up with BTC. So that was the projection I had as we watch it. Cardano. Which exchange? I know you guys have asked me this. Where in the world would I put it? Oh, sweet. I think this is it. Ha! There's the last time we ever did Cardano. Man, nobody asked this thing anymore since 22. Nobody likes Cardano. As far as if you want me my fundamental take on what's going on in that ecosystem, I don't have any specifics to tell you anything like that. I like to tell you the technicals of this one. I know some stuff, on some of the platforms, but I don't follow, every little story like that. It's one of the things that helps keeps me objective, right? Because all of what I need to know about, this is already in the price. The smartest guy in the room, is going to know before any of us what's going on, especially if he knows a dev, and he'll act on price and leave his footprint in the price. So if you understand, good TA will always put you in the same place as good FA. I didn't know the AI fucking insanity was going to go on at the end of the year, but I do understand what the shape of a big ass bull flag in NVIDIA means, and it means the same thing it does in every other bull flag that looks like that. So right now, what does this guy look like? Looks like garbage. I guess that would be the end of it. This is garbage. Buy best of breed. Buy things that are not going to the floor, right? One thing NVIDIA shows you is you don't have to chase shit like that, right? A lot of people do stuff like that, and you don't have to do that, right? You can actually play the strength in the marketplace. Top 7 stocks of the S&P 500 that everybody and their mom fucking knows is all you had to play. You never had to do shit else, right? And so everyone's trying to find what's on the ground that might make me rich. The thing that makes you rich is usually been punching you in the fucking face while you look down here to find this crap. So last thing I hear is if he didn't fucking rotate this one out here, he was going to turn to shit. He turned to shit, and he's on the ground. He still looks like shit. So technical term, looks like shit. That's my take on Cardano. All right, so crypto things. We do want to watch some ratios, you know, with what's going on. And BTC dominance is kind of in focus, right? BTC.D. If Bitcoin becomes a safe haven because there's fucking regulatory risk against half of fucking crypto because of Gensler, this guy could clear a range that he's been in stochastically since May 2021. And that would not be a good thing for fucking shitcoins at all for like an alt season. This would likely usher in like an altcoin winter in terms of BTC. So you don't want to see this with what Gensler's doing. Clear this area. This continues to rotate. BTC's the best of breed, right? And fishing around with shitcoins, especially things like Cardano, will get you more fucked in the ass than usual. So, all right. Pretty good play for the fucking FOMC day, I gotta say. I'm pretty happy with that. I'll take it. I think I'll be done until the end of this. All right. That was BTC dominance, and then ETH and a couple of those guys, and USD.D. Told you to pay attention to this guy. If he got clear of the anonymous beta that was trolling us on the show, that would be a place to start to really pay attention, right? Because the next move he can do is this projection above that trigger. And if he blows out 15 nigga Enix level, right, everything's getting smashed. And this likely comes on the back of BTC dominance sustaining that breakout, which means shitcoins would be fucking disproportionately weaker if this happens. So take detailed notes on that. That's USD.D. Okay, that's everything to cover. What are we at? Not 2 hours, right? What's happening? I don't know what the show time's at. This is how I get fucked up. Hour and 30 minutes. All right, motherfuckers. I'm only doing like 10 minutes worth of shit. I'm not going close to 2 hours. This is how you fucking throw your day completely off a bridge. God damn it. If it says the Discord link that's on my Twitter, if it says invalid, you may have been in my eco, and you know, if you were in my eco before and removed for inactivity, then you're on a ban list, and that's what makes it inactive. Because I have people joining right now, so I know that the Discord link's not inactive. The link to it is on my profile on Twitter, and it should be under this video also in the expanded comments. All right, Stamblers, be good, homie. Definitely a rewatch. Hey, better. Okay, you know, this is how I get fucked up by having a remaining order in this motherfucker. Hold on, let me check. Orders, nothing. Okay, good, nothing. Gotta admit, where'd it go? Okay, that's not right. Oh my god. Never mind. That's a fuck up here with this damn. My iPad keeps hijacking my fucking mouse. Jesus Christ. Alright, finish this off. So UST.D, we got that guy in. Oh yeah, time for your symbols. That's what I'm doing. Trying to get out of here in a not ridiculous amount of time. Let's go. Let's see what you got. Shout out Car B. Appreciate you, sir. Or she. Don't know which is which. Sorry, I didn't get to catch up on the last bit of stuff. Alright, there it is. IXIS gold. You IXIC. Looks like I'm staying for 2 hours. You guys are some motherfuckers, you know that? What the actual fuck, guys? Look at Kenichi. Oh no, that's a lot of symbols. And it's a Fed day. Sentiment things, niggas. But yeah. Is that cat out of the bag now? Now, is that idea scarce still? We have to think about that one, right? Because when the indicator, becomes self-aware, then I don't know. But all right, so I'm not doing all those. You motherfuckers, you're gonna keep me here with Anthony for hell the fuck no. I am. I'm going to do a select few. All right. Everybody's like, oh god. Now, if enough of you believe in that situation, no longer be a scarcity. That's the funny thing about it. Is people think they can steal this idea and everybody's gonna fucking find out what to do. No, you won't. You can never beat rule of the atom, motherfucker. And so being able to figure out when the indicator itself is no longer a value, and the indicator itself is an indicator in a contra way for itself, you have to stay extremely objective for that. Remember we reversed the Kramer indicator and we did the reverse indicator because everybody was dogpiling on Kramer? That became the indicator. Not Kramer became the value. So it's a crazy thing how the universe is distributed. It's a neat thing too. All right. Next first symbol is IXIC. So we do Dow Gold. This is NASDAQ Gold. And we'll use GC1. So I guess we've done this before a while ago. Yeah. So there's NASDAQ Gold, and there's the internet bubble, and there's the crash of NASDAQ Gold. And then if you look at like Dow Jones, it's a DJI / GC1, blah, blah. Son of a bitch. Right? I mean, this is the OG one we talked about, right? And when you're in a, in a risk-on cycle, right? Gold is a risk-off asset. Gold carries a storage fee. So holding gold will actually have a carrying cost to it. Holding risk assets like in the S&P 500 and in some of the Dow components will pay you a dividend. So like owning a property, you get paid for your asset that you hold, right? That's what makes it a risk asset, right? And seeking risk. You invest in the asset for a return. You invest in a business for a return. You invest in property for rental returns, right? Most people, gold bugs, are totally uneducated fucking lumps of dog shit. And they don't understand that. If you have a lump of fucking useless fucking heavy ass metal, you're going to pay to put it somewhere. That's the opposite. You're going to pay rent for the gold. So, shorting gold, actually, you receive that rollover cost. So if you want to be in a position to receive rent for gold, shorting it and collecting the rollover fee, and then taking that short money and buying a property or buying stocks will actually give you two tailwinds. You receive dividends and you receive the short rollover fee. And this is a risk-on position. So when you are in a risk-on situation in the market, gold tends to be weak. This is why a lot of people go, gold's going to pump any minute, and they never get it. Gold is the thing being sold in terms of other things that can pay me fucking greater yields. So you see this in the whole boom, and it really captures risk-seeking assets over risk-off assets, and you can see the entire expansion from Ronald Reagan all the way through till, dickhead Bush takes office, and then fucks up on 9/11. And 9/11, honestly, which most people don't realize, is the real fucking death of America, right? 9/11 is right there under George Bush, right? Had Obama been in office, it'd have been his fault. But George is white, so no one ever tied that to George, right? But the reality is that this is actually where the market really crashed. You guys saw a crash in terms of, we can look at it like IXIC. You saw a crash already starting here in the dollar market. But the real breakdown in America in terms of other assets happens on 9/11. And that is where the real wreckage of the country is. Even when it begins to bounce here, the U.S. doesn't truly catch any real steam and is still struggling to get out of fucking 9/11 for quite some time after, right? NASDAQ gold collapses all the way through what you consider the housing bubble, because that's not the real bottom. The real bottom is here. And that's why I tell you 2011-12, when you're halfway up the recovery of the crash, that's where the real alpha is. When actually the market begins to grow again and risk assets begin to outpace risk-off assets, that's the uber gas move in our markets, right? And so most people don't know how to look at markets this way. But I'll show you a really cool chart if I can find it fast. Not going to do a 2-hour show, bitches. Don't jinx me. Don't try to do it. Stop. Oh my God. How many times can I make a typo? So this chart lurks. It should actually be on Twitter too. Let's see if I can find it. But I can't search Twitter right now to find it. But it's over here, posted forever ago, back in the day. Stupid thing. Finding it. So I used to post the stock twits, but it got kind of weird, so I stopped posting there. But I do have a crazy chart. So any of you who follow me for a while know some of these OG charts hidden over here. Please load. Where are you? I'm gonna find it. Don't wait for it. Wait for it. It's good. So you want to talk about an amazing call that most people don't know about, hidden in plain sight, that's been sitting there the whole time, even when they nuked my main account? I'm stalling. Here it is. Found it. OG of OG charts. The Dow Gold. So, understanding how to really look at markets, not in terms of fiat, a medium of exchange that's forever expanding, but assets in terms of assets, that's your real market. So back in 2011, right after gold topped, I threw out the bottom call of bottom calls. This is the real bottom of risk assets on risk off assets. And so when you go back here, that September 15th, 2011, I gave that heads up. Right there. The exact place you wanted to buy stocks, where they went nuclear. Epic. We call it all, in case you didn't know. So I left that out there. And the racial fucking element that would make sure no one would pay attention. Maybe not, motherfucker. This, I didn't know what I was doing. I just pushed buttons on this thing. I didn't realize that I would be attached to it forever. But I was obviously bullish about this. That's why I'm talking pay attention to Obama, because we're calling the bottom of the entire market in this. But yeah, pretty epic fucking post. And this was the thing, right? 9/11, right? The collapse in U.S. asset values in terms of gold since 9/11 attacks. Nobody even realizes the real fucking loss of wealth in the country is fucking Bush. And it stops under the fucking rescue package for getting the car industry and everything like that under Obama. That is the resurrection of the U.S. economy that no one gave that black man credit for. This is the Obama economic policy reversing, taking a couple years to actually turn the marketplace, and then catching hold and leading into Trump, who actually fucks it all up and fucking dump bars the country by fucking up the management of COVID. Only 2 likes for that call. Well, that's how that works, right? I got some legendary shit sitting over on this network, and then nobody cares. But yeah, that is how it works. Nobody cared. This is the call of the fucking century out there, to pay attention to Obama's presidency and pay attention to this box as the death. So, yeah, pretty wild. So we pay attention back to this chart here on IXIC. And so that's the Dow Gold. The tech version of it, right? Same thing is applicable. So IXIC slash GC1 slash... Fucking Christ, that's a lot, right? So same rotation is going on. So now think about what we said. This is such a hideous bull flag. Let me do something about that. All right, so as bull flags go, sentiment-wise, what do we say? Right, when you get like about to where, like a little ways up off the ground, right? About here, from about here up, this is where nobody pays attention to you. Retest the high. And nobody believes it in the bull flag, right? This part, nobody believes it. And it can go much harder. So there are a lot of things that look pretty bullish about what's happening right now, right? So this keeps rotating. Tech and risk assets, still a better place to be than gold. All right. Next things you got. That was a long ass symbol. Golly. Whoever put that in there, beat them for putting that in there. LMT. This is defense stocks. Defense stocks look like. We talked about these. Pay attention to these guys. And we have a trigger on LMT from your OnlyFans. So if he gets clear of this, he looks better on top of this level, which is structure out a system on top of that. And he'd look better to get out of here that way. You want to keep proxies on the rest of the defense guys. They all kind of look like this. Rotational flag here. Want to see him get out cleanly. Boeing, catching a little strength finally and about to participate in aerospace and defense. Who knew it? And then Northrop Grumman, right? He's the dog of this. Got a floor, a 2B, possibly ready to do something off of here. You probably want to like check that angle, and you can check like, not worth it. I'd say you proxy him with the other guys, and you have a better read on what's going on aerospace and defense. XAR, just looking at that, right? Probably worth keeping track of aerospace and defense right now. Looking kind of good, right? So good one to bring up, right? As part of the industrials that we said to keep track of. If you're going to close ranks with fucking what's going on in semiconductors and tech, then this is probably one of the places that could play catch up on that crazy ass move from Nvidia. So yeah, definitely have eyes on all these guys. Sophie. And if I drop stuff in OnlyFans and you then ask about it directly on the show, I'm going to skip it. So whoever keeps doing that, stop being fucking retarded. Like, seriously. That's constantly happening. What's the point of dropping it to you for you to ask me about it again on the show? Yeah, I can tell when you, like, take everything out and put it on there. I'm literally not going to do it. Go look in the fucking channel. So I'm just going to skip the ones that are even on there. Sophie. Whoever's doing that, like, seriously, are you a fucking retard? The fuck is the point of getting it and asking it back in the show, bitch? Like, seriously. Unbelievable. Anyways, it's the same person keeps doing that shit, too. So, if you can't get in that channel, you're not going to get on the show. Sophie is... What is this guy? Finance. Rental leasing. Wow, what a fucking stick. Is this guy... Technology. Curious. That is a stick. That isn't something I would ever chase. I mean, that just needs a bigger system correction, right? Something else that's not this. Like, anything. Give me something that if it's going to continue and stay above this most recent spike, something along that to play into. But for right now, that's so insane. Let's see. That looks crazy. So above, at least down here on the lows, he could do something kind of nuts. Let's see. Yeah, he holds above this. I think that's your best looking bet right there if he does this kind of thing. So, probably keep eyes on that guy. Got good volume on this recent pop too. What does it say here? An hour ago. So he got an upgrade also. So he's got a little media attention. Might be worth paying attention, but getting an upgrade behind a stick like that, like what's he just done? He's like 100. He's on 100%, and then he gets an upgrade. A correction on this, and then let him cool off from the people who walk into the upgrade would probably be the better bet. If that would be to me a safer play if he sets that up and gives that to you. If he does it right. What's your next one? I'm gonna do UPS. UPS. So we can talk about some of these jets guys and like travel. So IYT transports carry some of these guys, so it's a strength there. It becomes a good idea to start watching jets if you see that. So watching that, FedEx is part of that. FedEx I think looks a lot better there. Let's look at UPS and FedEx. That looks like a dog. FedEx looks like the strength of this setup. So if I had to look at somebody in transports out of the two of them, I think that guy looks a lot better. If he does take off and lead it, he can drag FedEx, UPS with him. But I think right now the best of breed looks like it's actually this guy. Let's see. Diamond Qs, good call to look on that. Tracking if the industrials can get a fucking bounce on tech. Still a tech strong fucking raging bull market. We look at QQ diamonds and to see this oriented that way, and until this fucking shows out, right, that's your tech is still leadership over industrials. So yeah, it's a beast mode tech move that's happening. Let's see some of these guys here. He's not really doing it today. Let's see what's the strength today. Netflix, talked about him. What a trigger. Hopefully some of you guys played that. Beast mode rip on Netflix coming off of that. Right, some discretionary guys are catching crazy strength like we talked about. RCLs, we know the cruise lines are all nuts as fuck. CCL, all those guys we talked about, actually totally crazy. So I saw some people caught like crazy ass moves on cruise lines. Good stuff. Good job on that. All right. Let's see. What else do we got here? XOP. Watching XOP. Is this my main flag for him? XOP. Okay. So I think we had two charts for this guy. OG chart. Just showing the size of the bull flag he was in. And since he did this, we did this in 2020. If we go back here and look at XOP, we did this like more recently. And have the arc out of that bull flag up. Corrective area said was possible. Not a bad squiggle, right? He didn't make it all the way up in there, but he's corrected back against the grain. And then something you like is break the angle and then rotate from here. It'll throw pretty much everybody off of it. So right now we're watching him in OIH. All right, these two sectors. Where the hell did I put it? OIH. All right, I think these two different industries within energy are definitely worth paying attention to for a barometer and like what's going on with dirty energy, oil. We're looking for a pump up here, a flag, and then a rotation. So this is now actually done some of the projections. So now we have like the flag we're looking for is now that shape. That's the purple guy. And then a rotation from this back up above this trigger equals pay attention, right? So I think some of these guys in energy are worth paying attention to. And you want to look across the market and see what looks like these things. And there's a lot of guys who are in some interesting spots like DVN, SLB. These guys are in like different industries, but there's a lot of good looking bull flags and a lot of energy guys that I'm watching. And they've been cooking for a while. A lot of people are not talking about it right now, but a lot of these guys are starting to look a lot better, right? Next on mobiles, your big guys, right, are sitting in places they can more than rotate off of and do this. They just haven't really gotten any gas to them yet. So still watching for this if this is possible. All right, so CVX, some of these guys, right, all up inside of structures like this that have potential. CVX and Hess. So, all right, that is XOP, ETHUSD. I think every single show he asks the same question for the log fractal, and so like you can just go fucking look at it on my wall. Energy. Every single fucking show. No. Like the fuck. I'm not even gonna do that. I clearly skipped that one because you keep doing that like every fucking show. We're gonna go SGML. What is this guy? Non-energy minerals. Other minerals. Other metals. Okay, so he's non-precious metals. So let's look at that guy with... Nope. Let's see. Here's some other non-precious metal guys. Don't see a great correlation with that. I guess I see something here. Not sure which grouping he... Oh, he's lithium. Oh, I didn't see that. Okay, I know where he goes. He goes with these motherfuckers. Rare earth motherfuckers. Lithium, there he is. So let's see what he looks like on rare earth guys. So this is important, right? And there is a little bit of strength in these guys. Actually, I'm watching these dudes. Generally, if Elon's really strong, these guys usually pick up pace behind it. So this movement right here, if we leave from that, that is the range here you're watching. This system, we have a level here this high. So this is sitting free and clear here. So a breakup, out of this would be something I would definitely pay attention to, as long as these two ETFs stay strong and Elon doesn't have a major correction. And so far, I don't think he's gonna have one right now, right? Still ridiculous. Oh, here's our target we gave you guys for this thing. All right, cool. So yeah, there's your range on this leg, and there's your range on this leg, and there's a chance at this level for a corrective structure here. So Definitely keep notes on this. Told you to pay attention to this. And so just on cock and balls, right, this cock is about as big as that cock. So it's extended, and for people who are really feeling like missing out, this is where you can get caught. And a larger corrector structure throwing them out would give us a chance for another play on this guy if he sets it up right. And it's a good level for it, right? Good gap on here, good blowout, takeoff level to the all-time high from here, good knife catch on this level, retest on this level, check on this level. So it's a good level, right? There's a chance for a stall here has a higher probability. Plug power, no one's asked that in forever. Let's see what that guy looks like. Wow, long time since we looked at plug, huh? This bull flag never made it, never rotated that much more than that, so he is now that big. And it appears you might have picked it at a spot worth looking at. So what do we have here for this level? Okay, let me see. There it is. Okay. That's the last low to drive him into the dirt in 2013 to beat that level. And he's under that level now. Okay, cool. So that's a major line in the sand for him. It's a good trigger. And a possible rotation on the most ridiculous bull flag. Volume can't get too much to read on. It looks like too much more excessive than anything else. But if this is possible coming through here, then maybe he goes through it, and then, something like that to take him up to challenge this area. It's your first target, right? So, what if? Boy, he's down in the dirt. What if, right? And let's look at plug. So you look at plug from his crash to what he's doing now, and the volume he has here, right? Probably the most significant flag to pay attention to, in all of this history, right? And it's a large flag. XLE. Oh, wait. Did you just ask me that? No, XOP. Oh, right. So the XOP that we talked about, right, is cooking a flag of like that scale. Okay, I'm on the wrong chart. XLE. Damn it, I did it on the other side. Alright, fine, fuck it. XLE. And putting over top of him XOP. Right? One of your industries. This flag cooking in XOP is directly tied to this flag cooking in XLE. So if the sector catches strength, we're not sure what side of the sector in the industries are going to get the strength. But sitting on top of this trigger, the good place for there to be a rotation and take out this bull flag on XLE. And this likely helps you with your timing on the rotations here, and then some of those assets we told you look rather similar, right? Okay. I'm going to do the Clonex and probably one more stock, and I'm going to let you guys go. And I've probably hit 2 hours any fucking way. But fuck it. Got to get this right. So let's see. Clonex. Any good chart for you, sir? I'm just going to use fucking entity price floor. So since the Manoa fucking luggage, this thing's been taken on the chin. I haven't exactly been tweeting a lot either. There's definitely been a lack of unity in this fucking broader Clonex ecosystem. I gotta say that's been their big problem the whole time, right? Wow, I hope that's not real. But right now, looking at him coming back down here, let's see. I'm gonna zoom out too on this guy. So I don't know if that's like a margin call or what that is. 0.25. That's some poor sucker. I think you got to pay attention to this, for the low that you have here. So I should probably pull up a candlestick chart, but I don't think my candlestick chart's refreshed today. That looks crazy. Where is it? So one of the things you can see about Clonex is it's a little clearer on the dollar chart. Alright, it's a little clear on the dollar chart that this is exactly a crash cycle, right, in Clonex. And so what is the actual final low we've got down here? The main low we have is actually right here, right? April 16th, the one we made. And from there you have like, you know, a low, a strong rally, and then a corrective structure, right? When we look at this, we're looking for a low to hold, a higher low to hold. And if that happens, you get like the ability for it to like go out there and then thereby, you know, create that kind of formation at the bottom, right? That Nomics N that we always draw. So right now that wick is looking like, I'm gonna guess if you got a quarter down there, that's a margin call on Blur or something that registered down there when they took possession of it. To like just make that point now and go back into this. So did anything else transact through that? You got a 4,000. You got something that did break it. So $206 is the low over there in terms of Ethereum, and it's like 4,300 in terms of dollars. So that's your line in the sand for him to basically get it back above it and do that, or you're in deep shit if he stays under here in dollar terms. That definitely doesn't look good. And then in ETH terms, right? Did he sell through there? Sorry, two. So yeah, he only has that brick through it. So he hasn't broken the floor in ETH terms. So where'd it go? Right, same thing's true here. Right, this is like an anomalous spike. I think you still can consider him to, you know, as much as he's wicked through it with one singular fucking asset doing it, I think you're still looking for like this. It's pretty much, it does this or it's fucking going to one. So let's hope it doesn't sell us any more fucking luggage, because that was definitely a terrible move and it definitely backfired. So I think that's possible. I think that's kind of anomalous, kind of like that Dunbar and a single asset. They call it like, you know, a traded level. But it has made that price action, so somebody has been fucked out of a clone for a quarter. So that's always worthy of note, right? If it can rotate this, I think you look at it for the line in the sand as the base of the April 16th move, and if he can rotate back above that, he has the ability to, you know, or just restructure above that, he could go, you know, hard again. Probably needs a little news catalyst or something to go with it though. Alright, and last but not least, let's do Sony. Talked about paying attention to these bull flags in Japan. So at this resolution, right, you're rotating up, at least with this bull flag, past the halfway point. If he's going to go fucking recapture the whole of this, he has a potential for like real good gas here. He's kind of a stick out now, and could he keep tracking at this level? Yeah. I'd feel better if he gave you a slightly bigger flag in this thing to play, you know, like something that corrected and then went back up there. But that's weekly. Let's use kind of the same trajectory, really grindy trajectory. Wow, Honda. It's always Toyota. Tell ya, Toyota cars. Pay attention to the Japanese cars, right? And Honda also, right? So those guys are definitely way stronger. OG cheat sheet from OnlyFans. Major trigger finally. Let's see. Sony hasn't got that trajectory at all. He's like really gradual rise. So if there's a chill in the parabolic motion of some of those other guys in Japan, he would probably be reflected here. And then the next wave, you may see him have better strength there. But he's clearly not the best of breed in this particular wave. So I think the next major correction in the Nikkei probably gives you a better chance to plan back around this dude. All right, let's look at the Nikkei. So the Nikkei is like a stick here, and he's nothing like it, right? So he's not one of the strongest guys in it. So we look at this with a couple guys we can track over here. All right, you just look at this. And almost anything else was a better idea to play than Sony. Where's Sony? Oh, I forgot to. Oh, I forgot to put Sony in here. Sony. Where the fuck is Sony right there? In this most recent push that I'm showing you here. So we go back into this, we look at it, right? Sony's, well, it looks actually percentage-wise the same, right? Oh, you guys are playing catch-up on Sony. I hadn't actually looked at it like that. So actually, you see what happens? Sony actually moved more consistently from March, and in this latter move, Toyota had been the laggard. He's repricing to catch them. So, yeah, this probably warrants like some kind of correction in the trajectory and the steepness of this move. You probably want to see something peel off of this and make a slightly bigger flag and give you some structure to plan from, from where you are now. But all in all, it looks like all these guys are rotating humongous bull flags, and like I said, nobody thinks fucking Japan is really doing shit, right? This kind of headline doesn't make people think Japan is on a comeback from a fucking a bear market from 30 years ago. But the reality is, Japan is coming back from something fucking crazy, and nobody fucking seems to know it. Right? So we gave you this cheat sheet in fucking 2020 we gave you this guy on Toyota? It was like fucking forever ago we gave it to you. I think we gave it to you here in 2020. So, yeah, big res fucking cycle things. Big fucking bull flag. The biggest, right? As far as stock market goes, this is a 1989 to 2012 bull flag. And if you recognize this turn, it's with the Dow Gold. It's when risk-seeking behavior really returned in the marketplace post 9/11. That is correlated with the motion of the Japanese market as well. And this entire tide is still that, right? On the back of fucking gold, risk assets on gold being stronger. I know somebody probably asked it, right? This GC1. That's Japan to gold. Recognize that setup? Recognize that setup? So yeah, their bull market is just possibly getting started. All kinds of fucking crazy synthetic charts today, huh? You chart whores. Hope you're happy. Because I'm sure I've fucking crossed my fucking time. Fuck it. Let's throw Ferrari in here. One more thing. Ferrari, ridiculous. We talked about him. Cars, luxury cars, crazy. Mega breakout, right? Everything cars, fucking crazy. How about that Rolls Royce? Did that guy make a move too? He's not on cars, right? You guys say he's aerospace, so maybe you're right. Race though, best of breed, fucking luxury car, fucking non-stop. I'm pretty sure I have a chart for him. Where the hell is it? Race. That guy, there he is. Alright, so out the extension of this fucking bull flag, out to new highs. Gonna need to see some kind of fucking chill structure. That's a pretty fucking straight line he's fucking running right now. Probably track this angle. And as long as he tracks along this, right, you trade this resolution of an angle like that. But if he crosses and, corrects across it, he'll give you the correction you need to get a bigger flag structure. So he could do something like if he finally crosses it, even if it's not here, a little higher up, and then does this, mind fucks everybody else, and then rotates and does that, and then changes the trajectory of his trend, like with nobody fucking paying attention to it, right? So that's possible to do, but ideally this is so fucking stretched out right now. You've only got really low resolutions available to you. I think you need something slightly bigger to fuck with it. Could it go just this shallow? Yeah. Could it go deeper and come test this angle? It could do that also. Alright, that's it, motherfuckers. Let me see. I have no idea how long I've been doing this. 2 hours and 9 fucking minutes. Alright, I'm not going to start the show off and tell you guys I won't do a 2-hour show. I'm just going to endeavor not to do a 2-hour show. But hopefully, you motherfuckers aren't in a coma. It's a Fed day. Go have a nice long lunch. Don't fucking chop your balls off before the fucking action hits. I took one more shot at that bitch and he got me, but not for much. So still have a kick-ass morning, and I'm gonna go fucking drink something or do something that'll make me not look at this shit again until fucking Jay Powell gets on the mic and decides to fucking, shove that eggplant into your fucking ass with no Vaseline. So, till further notice, y'all niggas stay frosty. Catch you on the flip.
Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly.